Yeah. Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Candid Conversation.
Happy Sunday.
It is a pleasure and a privilege to have you here with us today. We got a great show for you as usual.
Yes.
So make sure you are engaged, lock in with us. Please stay in the comment section. We love dialogue. Iron sharpens iron. But yeah, welcome to Candid Conversation. If this is your first time, I am King George, one half of the dynamic duo. And if you don't know who this is my one and only, the beautiful, my queen, the intelligent,
the angry citizen. Did I get you this time?
Yeah.
Dr.Natalie, Nicole.
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
We are in the building.
Listen, so angry, but I always have a smile, honey.
Of course
I always
you do.
have a smile.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome to Candid. You know, when we talk about topics sometimes that are not popular.
Yes, but they are very important. Yes.
Important. So yeah, we can ready to dig in. We got a great show for y'all. So please come in, get comfortable, but be engaged.
Not too comfortable, right?
Right. I'm gonna get in our quote for today,
All right.
which simply says, if you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done.
Ooh.
That's Bruce Lee right there.
Oh, Bruce Lee.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll run it back for those in the back. If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done.
That's good. So let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
So what is it saying? It's saying you got to be about that action. Thinking about it alone won't get it done. You got to be about that action.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's the quote of the day.
Oh, we got a yo today. How you doing, Mr. Wilson?
All right,
How you
my
doing?
man. Salute to you, sir. Welcome to Candid.
Yes.
But yeah, got a great show for you. And we'll start off with, as usual, bam, Vigilantes Inc. Please check it out. If you have not seen this documentary, it is groundbreaking. It will change your life.
Yes.
So yeah, please check it out. Our very own Major Turner is in this documentary.
Yes.
And this is about what they're doing, not nationally, but right here in Muskogee County. They are suppressing votes, over 4,000 votes in Muskogee County alone.
Yes.
So check out Vigilante Inc. We'll put the link in the description. And hopefully we can get Major Turner, once you get your copy, to autograph it for you.
Yes. I'm sure he would be more than happy to give you his signature. And you know, I like to call our generals in our community our hometown heroes. We have to honor those who have been fighting the fight for a long time in Columbus and then nationwide when they're veterans. We have to honor them and give them their flowers while they are still here. We are so proud of Dr. Broadwater. We are so proud of Mr.
Major Turner.
Yes, Major Turner.
Yeah.
We are so proud of
Dr. Hood.
Yes, Dr. Hood. We are so proud of Corey, who's joining us live.
That's
He is
right.
a pillar in our community and an advocate for what's right. We are very proud of our people. And that's one thing about us. We're about empowerment, right? It's not about us. It's about community, because both of us are veterans.
Right.
We could very well be somewhere else doing other things.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from Florida, you're from here. We love to travel.
Yeah.
But this election season has been very, very important to us.
Right.
It's groundbreaking. And I think when you have leadership like we have in the White House, we know it's imperative that we do everything possible to make sure that we don't get that same foolery going on here locally in our own city. So we going hard, people are going hard, and we got to continue and show up, because that's what I'm transitioning to.
Okay.
It's Tuesday, June 16th,
Yeah.
7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Voting at your neighborhood precinct.
Yes.
Okay? Not Macon Road, but your neighborhood precinct.
Right.
And if you're on social media, I want you to follow the 706 Citizen page. That page is directed by Denise Cambridge, I believe, and she has all of the information you're looking for as regards elections, candidates, all of those good things. There's absolutely no excuse, all right?
Right.
So
Shout out to
Tuesday.
Denise. We appreciate you.
Tuesday, take a friend, take a loved one, take somebody to the polls this Tuesday, June 16th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. All right.
Right. So yeah, again, we got a great show. We're gonna dive in real quick. Let's see what we got first.
Well, before we transition, can we talk about the celebration we attended this morning?
Yes.
That was it was a great experience. I was going to say monumental. It was a great experience.
It was monumental also. Yeah. So we attended Pastor Reverend Edward Dixon. He retired today, 30 years as a pastor. He retired. Right. He's been my pastor since I was knee-high to a fire hydrant, as they say.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, great things in the community. I learned a lot from this man.
Hard worker.
He was an artist.
He is.
He is an artist. Yeah. He's great with his hands, construction, building, anything you can think of, he can do it. So yeah, work ethic. He worked 2, 3, 4 jobs to support his family. And he just, he was just an example of what a man is and what a man should be. Mm-hmm. And definitely a role model in Columbus. So salute to you, Pastor Edward Dixon. We thank you for everything that you've done and how you served not only your church family, but the community.
All right, yes. How you doing, Major Turner? How you doing, sir?
Major Turner, welcome to CANDID, sir. We appreciate you being here. But yeah, you just in time. We got a great show.
Yes. We just gave you your flowers.
Yeah.
We just told everybody to make sure they pick up their copy, and we are sure that you'd be more than happy to give them your signature. Get a signed copy. All right.
Indeed. Look up True the Vote. We can't say it enough. True the Vote. So you can see the MAGA vigilantes who are out here doing whatever they can to suppress votes. They really don't have to do it now because of the Voting Rights Act that was gutted.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they're still doing it. So, yeah, the power to use your voice to vote, you got to exercise that right. You got to exercise it.
Right. And again, the priority right now is June 16th.
Yes.
June 16th, this Tuesday, getting out to those polls, making sure you vote between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m.
Right.
And making sure you take friends, family, whoever needs a ride. There's plenty of opportunity and absolutely no excuse. All right.
Okay.
All right, honey, where you wanna talk about these this other event that's coming up, or you wanna wait until the end?
We can wait until the end.
Okay.
But I do want to shout out to Mr. Quinones real quick. Shout out to Mr. Quinones and the rest of the panel. We had a men's panel yesterday, a men's forum, where we talked about the importance of financial literacy, the importance of having life insurance that pays living benefits, and the importance of having a budget and how to balance the budget.
Awesome.
It was amazing, and I'll just call out the names real quick of the other 2 speakers who were there, because I don't want to not mention their names.
Okay.
Because they gave out some great information. And that was Mrs. Andrea Sullivan. We appreciate you, ma'am.
Okay.
And Mr. Quincy Wade. Wealth of knowledge, great information. We appreciate those who showed up. But yeah, we had a great time.
Okay.
We had a great time.
Awesome.
So yeah. I also was on the panel, if you didn't know.
Okay.
But yeah, we had a great time, shared some great information, and just empower people. So that's what happens when iron sharpens iron. We come together, and everybody has something that they can grow from and something that they can learn. So
absolutely, and that is absolutely the foundation of what Candid Conversation is all about. The opportunity to talk about things that people probably would rather talk about privately, but needs to be talked about publicly. Because Dr. Broadwater brought it to our attention that there are people that don't realize that they're supposed to be going back to the polls. They're saying they have already voted. Folks, we need you to go back to the polls, and that's the importance of these conversations, right? Because you never know, you can never assume that people know.
Right.
You can never assume. So we got to get back to the polls. You're probably going to hear me say that multiple times tonight, like a broken record, but it's important because I'm shocked that people don't know that they're supposed to head back to the polls.
Yeah.
They don't understand that those votes that we did on May 16th don't count now. We're starting at 0.
Starting at ground zero.
Yeah, we need to make sure our voices are heard and our votes are counted.
That's right. Also, please reach out to your loved ones, the ones who usually do a mail-in ballot, because I'm finding out they haven't gotten their mail-in ballot in the mail this late in the game. You only got 2 more days of voting.
Just one.
So please reach out Monday or Tuesday.
No Monday, just Tuesday. Election day is Tuesday only now.
Oh, so no voting on Tuesday.
Oh,
okay.
only on Tuesday, honey.
Oh, so no voting tomorrow.
On Monday, right?
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Right.
So yeah, you can't even vote tomorrow. So
Right.
Tuesday's the last day, the 16th, to make sure that you're making sure that your voice is heard. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but check on your loved ones. Make sure that if they haven't sent in their mail-in ballot, they show up to the polls Tuesday.
Because they cheated us, right? When they didn't give us a weekend.
Yeah.
They didn't give us that weekend voting, and so we just have Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, honey. So, I mean, we got a few topics to get into tonight. We got the 6 council votes. We have what we celebrate most in our communities. We have fear rhetoric. Some of that, we've been seeing a lot of that going on.
Yes.
And on social media. And our low standards in our community. Where do you want to get started at, honey?
So let's get into the fear rhetoric.
Fear rhetoric. Let's start with Miss Kelsey Garrett.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, she's sitting at the baseball, the little baby's baseball game, and she can't even focus and tune into the game because she thought it was necessary to share that if you don't want gun bullets,
Right.
gun bullets, at these games, then you may not want to vote for an African American mayor because they choose the chief of police, and that means we're not going to be safe.
Exactly, insinuating that there's going to be violence, there's going to be basically chaos. There's going to be people running amok if Mr. Isaiah gets into office. So that's the type of narrative they're trying to paint out here. And this is a city councilor's wife who's saying this publicly.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we want to know.
Because that's eye-opening for me. Like if I had any ounce of respect or fairness that I thought that Mr. Garrett demonstrated, it has all went out the window. It has all went out the window for his wife, and that's not the only video she's done. She's done other videos as well. For her to get on social media and to suggest that an African American mayor is going to bring chaos and gun bullets to our babies' games is ridiculous. And it's not anything new under the sun. Fear rhetoric is what they use to keep us not voting and keep some coming out to the polls.
Control the narrative. And that's what they do. That's what they do, and that's what they're doing.
Right.
That's what they're doing. They're trying to paint Mr. Hughley, not Mr. Hughley, but others in a negative light, and create this narrative where if you vote for this person, there's going to be, there's going to be tyranny, there's going to be chaos, there's going to be violence.
Right.
And that's what they're trying to do about these kids uptown too. The same narrative. We don't take care of this now, somebody's going to die. These kids are dangerous. They're walking around. It's lawlessness.
They want to implement crime prevention, but they didn't bring any of the churches, any of the organizations that's actually receiving the crime prevention grants. None of those people to the table to discuss these babies. I heard Dr. Broadwater real strong on it. And I know I spoke on the fact that these same types of children are on Whittlesey Boulevard and veterans. And they're down there with their big cars and gathered, and there's no problem and no curfew for them. But uptown is special.
Yeah, well, the chief of police said it himself that Whittlesey, certain properties like Hobby Lobby is private property, so there's nothing they can do. You know what I mean? But the kids are still gathering. They're still doing what they want to do out there. So tell us your comments. What do y'all think? And of course, Corey, we know you were there. He spoke on the agenda, and he just made it plain.
Right.
He made it plain what's going on out here. And like you said, they're not involving the community.
Right.
They're just making these decisions on their own.
Not at all. And I believe when we go to council this Tuesday is when they're supposed to either vote for yay or nay for this curfew. However, the chief of police, the police department has already beefed up their efforts. They're already pulling people over. They're already going into the garages and scattering people and giving citations and things of that nature. And so what's the point of asking for an ordinance and for the city council to implement an ordinance if you're already punishing people just for being down there? They're getting 40 cars being pulled over uptown. That's ridiculous. Let me read this comment here.
Okay.
Corey says, spreading nothing but hate and fear. That's right. I'm still trying to figure out what gun bullets are.
We are too.
How do baseball correlate with the new police chief? That's right. As an elected official, Gary is failing all his constituents by not checking his wife. You're right. You're right. And listen, that gun bullets is what's for me. I've never heard it said like that before.
Listen,
I've just never heard it said like that before. It's
you
just
know, but
different.
That just goes to show how alarming it is when people make statements like this.
Well, he can't check something that he agrees with, and so that's what's been
true.
eye-opening.
It's true.
That's what's been eye-opening.
Yeah.
That's what we needed to see. That's what we needed to know. Because again, prior to now,
Yeah.
I thought maybe he was fair.
Mhm.
I thought maybe he was a good city councilor for his constituents, but I guess not.
Yeah,
I guess not.
And then too, some people don't live in reality. They live in their own bubble.
Mm-hmm.
They live in their own reality. And I think some of these people like Walker Garrett, City Councilor Walker Garrett, is one of those people because he told me to my face when we were downtown or uptown, they don't lock their doors at night. They don't have a crime problem. They don't lock their doors at night. They're not worried about anything. But the majority of people, that's not their reality. The majority of people lock their doors.
Yeah.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? The majority of people have a security system.
Yes.
A Ring doorbell or some kind of, security system. But yeah, for him to say that just further lets me know that these people are out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
They're out of touch with reality. And when you're out of touch, how can you relate or empathize with somebody who has to lock their doors?
There you go.
You know what I mean? So that's what we're running into. And that's what we have making decisions in Columbus. People like that.
Right. Absolutely. And then, it's just that if he feels that way as a counselor, she feels that way. That's their pillow talk. That's what she understands. She's afraid to go to Uptown.
Yeah.
She's afraid for African-American mayor.
Right.
It's just going to bring chaos to our city. And then she's sharing it on social media. Like, where is the outrage from our community as it regards this? Like, we have some people in our own community that's focused on the wrong things, especially when they're African American and them gun bullets mean them, not the others. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I'm a little bit confused because there's not enough of us who is checking this type of rhetoric because we're too busy checking something else.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's changing. That's all changing. That's why we're here. That's why we do what we do, to make sure people are informed about what people are talking about and how they're painting a certain demographic of people in Columbus.
Right.
You know what I mean? So white supremacy is alive and well. People keep saying that this election is not about black and white. It's not about black and white. It absolutely is about black and white.
Yeah.
And if you look back down through history, you know what I mean? When our people were brought here in chains, it was about black and white. During Reconstruction, it was about black and white.
Right.
During the Civil Rights Movement, it was about black and white.
Right,
and it has always been about black and white.
Right.
MAGA is about black and white.
Right.
This recent Voting Rights Act is about black and white. So please, people, stop trying to say that this is not about black and white. It absolutely is. But on the other side of that, us as African Americans, we're still fighting for basic rights.
That part.
Basic rights.
That part.
So don't look at us and start and keep trying to say that, oh, you're race baiting and you guys are racist, and that has nothing to do with it.
They are the creator of the race factor in the first place. We're trying to survive in this nation, in this country, based on the president that they set in this country as it regards us. And then they have the audacity. That's how you tell a racist, to call a black person racist when we call it out for what it is.
Call it out,
yeah. Now, Mr. Wilson says D4 was crying about how this will affect black people and the increased police presence downtown and excessive stops is exactly what we were afraid of. We know what happens. We have lived data of what happens. We have live data. We have lived data. Yes, that is the truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth. And do you remember when, what was the young lady who was pulled over? They took her to jail and she did not make it out. And they said,
Sandra Bland. Sandra Bland.
I remember as a veteran, as an active duty soldier, traveling through states like Tennessee and being pulled over for no reason. Them asking me about, what am I eating? Rice Krispie treats. What is that? I wasn't speeding, but I remember being pulled over for no reason. And of course, for an African American person, that's anxiety.
Right.
That's what happens for us when we hear that they want to increase police and they want to implement a curfew.
Right.
I remember coming through Louisiana, moving as a soldier, getting pulled over. They want me to get out of the U-Haul. They want to check into the U-Haul. And it takes everything you can to stay in check and not get out of, shape, so they have a reason to pull you over when they're violating your rights in the first place. I'm not speeding.
Yeah.
So these are the things that we have to go through as African American, just to add to the fact that we have these lived experiences and we are the data, that we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. And that's the fear among African American people when they want to implement a curfew.
Right.
Now, I said no curfew, period. And this is why I say that.
Okay.
The fact that they mentioned that these citations, they can't control the judge. It's up to $1,000.
Yeah, his discretion.
Right. They have no say. City council has no say whatsoever.
Yeah.
If it's going to be a warning, if it's going to be up to $1,500, anything is too much right now in this economy for a parent or a child to have to pay a citation for a curfew on land that we have a right to be in and at and around. So I feel no curfew whatsoever if in fact it's going to come with that type of punishment.
Yeah.
And we've seen soldiers, babies who've graduated from high school, they on probation. They trying to, pay for a citation or they need to get off paperwork so they can go on and do what they need to do in life. I'm not about contributing to that. I am about parenting and parents stepping up and saying, hey, look, this is what's going on in our city.
Yeah.
You need to make sure you know where your kids are and you need to be present with your kids. But I'm not about implementing any form of curfew that's going to come with punitive damage. I'm not.
Yeah, I agree. Parents have a job to do, and Corey stated that on the public agenda. Yeah, parents have a part to play in making sure that their kids are being responsible off the streets and being caught up in a situation that can turn bad, like you just said.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the city does not have the right to criminalize nor target these kids because, again, all of these kids are not uptown causing problems.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But this is the picture that they're trying to paint. That
Right.
if we don't do something, somebody's going to get
What
hurt,
is the
somebody's going to
takeover
die.
stuff? Have we had the takeover? Have we had one?
I'm not sure if we had one uptown.
I don't think we had one.
But again,
Anybody
and
know
I was in
if
agreement.
they said we had a takeover yet in Uptown, or they just don't want to see so many African American students or children in the community?
Listen, we like I said, each incident is isolated. There's a few bad apples causing problems for the majority of these kids that are coming down, that are coming to Uptown. You know what I mean? So deal with those kids, deal with those individuals, and stop trying to paint all of these kids as a problem in Uptown.
And then also have a conversation with Phoenix City Police Department, because they're saying that majority of the babies are coming from Phoenix City. So have that conversation.
Right.
And stop trying to paint the children in Columbus like they're the problem.
Right. Right.
Corey says the same sergeant that is over the downtown department pulled me and my wife out of my truck for just sitting on the top deck. As we were standing there looking like criminals, a white couple walked by, just grinning. I was enraged and humiliated. And profile this happened in 2025, 1940, not 1945. Listen, that boils my blood.
Yeah.
That boils my blood. And see, and they know that's all they have to do is come to the city council and say they're afraid and they're trying to use preventive measures and things of that nature. And look, Kogel just went overnight up to 10 police. Let's fund it. I mean, she had no problem. Do y'all know how many years I've been coming before city council talking about blight and illegal dumping, and she's never opened her mouth to say the city could fund it, or we can increase funding, or we can help public works to be able to get extra funding to do this, that, and the third? She has never opened her mouth to say any such thing. But when these people came here talking about afraid and, they need more police, up to 10, and the city can fund it. Yeah. I was blown away.
We all were. If you were there, you were definitely blown away.
How you doing, beautiful? Miss Williams says, I would like to know the stats of all the arrests and citations. What was the geographic? Okay, I don't believe it was just children. That part, honey.
Right.
That
And
part.
that's what we were asking them for when we went uptown. That's what we were asking them for.
That
you know,
part.
what are the, like you said, what's the data?
Yeah.
What does
And
it
they're
say?
not providing any. They provided a fear-based photo with a young man carrying a weapon that is not even likely from Columbus.
And they made that the saying that all kids are doing this, or the majority of them are doing this, or this is a frequent problem. You know what I mean? So.
And when you're best buddies with the Uptown CEO, I see you riding in pictures with bicycles and things of that nature. It makes it real easy for that person to come to city council and get whatever they want, pretty much, because that's exactly what she did. I want a motion for up to 10 more police people. In addition, the city, I mean, I've never heard her speak that strong before about where the funding was coming from.
Yeah.
That's our taxpayer dollars. Who did she reach out to in her district to have that conversation?
Yeah, we want to know. We want to know. So, yeah, so that's what we're facing uptown with the youth, and them trying to criminalize the youth. But we're not going to let it happen. And shout out to everybody who stepped up and who was on the public agenda to voice their concern about what they're trying to do with this curfew and with the youth in uptown.
That's right, honey. This meeting was 9 hours long.
That's unheard of.
9 hours long. Now, Dr. Broadwater, of course, was still there.
Yeah.
There was a young man named Elijah still there. And, I had been tasked out to help Miss Teresa Elamine throughout the day, throughout that meeting. And so I stepped out, but I came back when they closed it out, and it was like 6:00-something, 6:08, 6:09 when they closed out the meeting for the day.
And shout out to Miss Teresa Elamine.
Yes,
shout out to her, who
yes,
has been a pillar in the community for a long time, and who has been fighting the good fight with City Council for a long time.
For a long
So
time.
shout out to you, Miss Teresa. We appreciate your hard work, and we do understand the effort and the concern that you have for the city and the love for the city.
And for her people.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Now, listen, she's direct, and she will get you told, and she will be like, who are you, and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But once you get to know her, you know and understand her heart, but that don't mean you off limits. That don't mean you don't get a pass. Because if she gonna get a hold of you, she gonna get a hold of you. And that's something as adults, we look over, but we respect the fact that she has been in the fight, like you said, for our people for a long time.
And listen, and they tried to put hands on her.
Yeah.
They tried to put hands on her in the last meeting, get her out of there.
Listen, I want to know, I didn't even see anybody signal for them to come. They just automatically, the woman started walking down the middle, the man came from one side. Where in the world, what is going on? Is there eye contact? What is it? Where they just start coming up, and the treatment, I'm sitting there paying attention to everything.
Yeah.
It's not equal. If you African American and you talking while they talking, then they're coming up to you and telling you you need to be quiet. But people on my left was sitting here having a full, Mr. Paul Olson, and we love him, but he was having a full-blown conversation. Nothing said to him. Nobody told him he's going to have to leave if he doesn't stop talking, during this meeting or what have you. So I think they need to make sure that that citizens understand not that little blurb that he gives everybody, try not to talk and try not to clap and but the entire understanding of what is expected and what's going to have you put out. And I don't believe they should be touching people. We've had this conversation. They need to keep their hands to themselves. But yes, now I'm going to go back to this real quick. Ms. Williams says, I'm afraid of Kogel. She is dangerous. I agree, honey. I'm not afraid, but I do believe she's dangerous. I believe she's very dangerous. And it's her type and her kind that would cause a havoc in our city if elected.
Well, I don't think she's dangerous.
I do.
And I say that because she's not, listen, Kogel is just a puppet. That's it. And you can tell that by her not being qualified for the job.
Well, that's
what I mean?
Why it's dangerous, honey.
Well, but she's not going to do anything. She's just going to sit there and do what she's told, speak when she's told to speak, and say what she's told to say.
And that's what's dangerous, because she wastes no time.
But she's not working on her own, though.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
this
true.
is not coming from her. This is coming from the people who's controlling her.
That's true.
That's why I say she's not dangerous.
That's
She's
true.
being controlled and manipulated. So.
There was no signal, Mr. Turner says, as if it had already been discussed on how to address her. When she is calling in, they cannot stop her once started. That's the truth, sir.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
That's
I believe the conversation was already had. You know, if she's so that's when they know to come up the aisle and go ahead and handle it.
And I mean, listen, and honestly, that little lady was gonna get drugged. Whoever was trying to take the microphone from out of her hand, Miss Teresa is strong. She was not letting it go, and the lady was about to get drugged and embarrassed. Yes, she was.
That lady was tased, Miss Teresa.
No.
Listen, we know how it goes down. Come on now, you just talked about Sandra Bland. We know how it goes down.
Oh, she wouldn't have gonna tase her in there.
Yes,
I know better.
Listen.
I know better.
Listen, she wouldn't have tased that lady. I'm telling you, and wouldn't have thought twice about it.
Well, today.
That's just what I see.
Mr. Wilson says the sheriff told me I can't have any outbursts. Somebody who said some that support the curfew, the whole right side bust out clapping. Nothing, crickets. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And so they don't think that we're not paying attention to the inequality that's going on in city council. They have another thing coming because we are paying attention.
Yeah.
As soon as they do something one way with us, then I'm on alert and I'm paying attention. I'm gathering data, as Mr. Wilson liked to say, gathering data on, okay, let's see what's normal in here and what's not.
Right.
Mr. Pearson, how you doing? Says data center definitely is, what is that? Let me see what kind of emoji is that. I can't see the emoji because I can barely see with my eyes. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Mr. Turner says has to drop off. We'll be back. Okay, sir. 5 seconds away. From a very different situation. Yes, that's right. That's the truth. Now, when I tell you, Miss Teresa was strong with it, and the lady would have been dragged. I'm telling you, honey. Before she would have had the opportunity to taste anything, Miss Teresa would have dragged her right on across that wheelchair. I'm telling you now.
I'm telling you, it ain't gonna work out well for her. And that's the sad part. They're gonna handle her however they gotta handle her. I'm telling you.
Listen, and then Chantel Roberts was sitting there right on the front row, right? Like she's sitting on her chair like this, like she like. I'm gonna need you to come because I don't want to have to hurt these people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you. She was new to city council for me. But when I tell you she set that city council on fire, honey.
She did.
She set the city council on fire. And I encourage her to continue to come back. She is an excellent speaker as well. Mm-hmm. She's from Columbus, Georgia. And I love the passion that her, Corey, Dr. Broadwater, Mr. Turner, all of them brought some passion to the public agenda this past city council meeting.
Yeah.
And
that's what needs to happen.
On a consistent basis.
Right. That's what needs to happen.
On a consistent basis. Listen, Corey said she wasn't going to have to do nothing. Listen, I'm telling you now.
I'm with you.
I'm telling you, for those of us who have respect for our elders, listen, it would have had to go down in there. And I'm telling you. I'm just telling you. Ain't no way.
Because listen, Corey, they was going to tase. I'm telling you. They was going to tase and manhandle Miss Teresa.
Oh.
And we was going to have to get in there.
Shut it down.
And handle our business.
And shut it down. Because ain't no way. And listen, and I've had enough with our city council. We elected them. Our taxpayers' dollars are paying them. How did they get in a position? Did you see how Mr. Allen was talking to her? Well, stay on topic. You need to stay on topic. You need to stay on topic. You got all these people. I can't help because you're frustrated because this meeting been going on for a long time. But that's what you signed up for. So you sit there and you listen because you do not have the right to dictate what comes out of someone's mouth. As long as they're not being disrespectful or, cursing you out and things of that nature.
Yeah.
You don't get to dictate the content that comes out of their mouth. At a hearing, he was a council member.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's foolery. We all know that.
Mr. Person says, I've been seeing that data center taint drinking waters. Oh, okay. Taint drinking waters in the areas they are implemented in. Okay.
Yeah. And that's part of the environmental concern that people are concerned about. That's part of it. So yeah, absolutely.
They have not done any type of environmental studies yet. Yet. And so that's what's going to be what's interesting that's coming up on this public agenda or city council meeting this Tuesday. The curfew, and the data centers. And
Yeah.
they've been pushing this stuff back. And I've seen in the data center page, they told those people not to vote until after that council meeting.
Told who? Oh.
That's what they told their folks, not to vote until after the council
Told
meeting.
city council that?
Told in their group page.
Oh, okay.
Do not vote until
Wow.
after the city council meeting. And when I tell you they have a petition, and it's over 5,000 people on there,
Yeah.
it only takes 3,000. Where you at, Corey? It only takes 3,000 folks in the district to recall a counselor.
Yeah.
3,000 on a petition.
So we need to be working on that.
Right.
We need
So
to be
they
working
already
on it.
have 5,000 signatures. It's too easy for whoever up there they want to recall or, give the business to for this data center.
Yeah.
And if the city council people think that these folks are not going to hold them accountable, they're not playing about this.
Right.
They're not.
Right. They showing up consistently in groups, in packs. So they're not
With all
playing.
their red shirts on and their signs.
We saw a big no data center sign today on
Yes,
Macon Road.
on Macon Road.
Yeah.
They are not playing with it, right?
Yeah.
And really what I think the number one problem is the location. The space is beautiful back there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and it just does not deserve a data center. And that's not what those people moved out there for, was
Right.
to have a data center in their backyard. And, you're going to have to hear the people out on that. Figure out somewhere else for it to go, because that's not it.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
not it.
Exactly. So, all right, we can leave it there and segue into the 6 council votes and the power.
Lord Jesus, let's talk about it, because
We
I
can
feel
talk
like a
about
lot of people are confused.
Yeah. So, Corey, we had this conversation, I think, yesterday or the day before. But these 6 votes actually control the city.
That part.
They control the city, period. And I'm just going to read this real quick. But yeah, that's where the power lies, with those 6 votes. Not with the mayor, not with the city manager, not with the deputy city manager, not with the city attorney.
Yeah.
Those 6 votes are the ones who are controlling and pushing the buttons and manipulating things in Columbus.
Yes.
So, real quick, the city council, they pass ordinances,
Yeah.
they approve the contracts,
Yeah.
they influence spending priorities.
Yeah. Yeah.
They approve spending priorities, they confirm key appointments, they advance or stop major development projects.
Yes.
And we could talk about Mr. Broomfield. I wish he was in here, but
Yeah.
these people are controlling Columbus.
Yep.
A recent example was the termination of the city manager, Mr. Isaiah Hughley. Council voted 7-3 to remove him. If the vote had gone the other way, Columbus would likely have continued under the same administration leadership. So yeah, those 6 votes absolutely matter. Many citizens focus on the mayor, but Columbus operates under a mayor-council, city manager form of government.
Right.
What that means is the city manager oversees day-to-day operations, personnel, budgets, and implementation of policy. Council approval is required for that position. So they can stop with trying to point the finger everywhere else but themselves. City council, those 6 votes, it's 10 councilors,
Yeah.
but they need 6 to pass an ordinance, or they need 6 for the majority to, to win. And they're absolutely controlling everything in Columbus. So
Right.
please don't be fooled by them trying to blame this and blame that on everybody else but themselves.
And that's exactly what they do, is sit up there and act like they are clueless about the budget.
Right.
That's the worst thing for me.
Right.
Well, how can we fix the departments from going over budget? That's Mr. Davis.
Yeah. When
Sir,
he knows.
You are the one approving the budget and the overspending and all of it, right?
Exactly.
But all you have done is sit here and point the finger as if the council is innocent, and the council is not innocent. And people need to understand that. They need to understand that anything that moves forward in this city, they have approved the funding.
Yes.
They have made it a priority. Do y'all know how much money they've given to the airport? Just real quick, 1.2 or $6 million, just like that. What's the golf place down there?
Oxbow Meadows.
District 3 that district is in a disarray on Caseta, how you say it? Caseta Road, and many other roads. But he motioned to give $150,000, Mr. Bruce Huff, to the Oxbow situation when you got to drive through unkept grass, plazas that are dilapidated, illegal dumping, tires and trash. Make it make sense for me.
Right.
You didn't say anything about blight, illegal dumping, or making sure the public works got everything they asked for in their budget, but you approved something for the golf situation?
Right.
I'm confused.
Right.
And that's what people need to pay attention to. They want to fuss at public works, they want to fuss at the city manager, they want to fuss at the departments, but these people are not funding them, they're not providing the resources that they need in order to be successful.
Right. And real quick, council decisions affect public safety, infrastructure, economic development, parks and rec, housing initiatives, SPLOST projects. That's another one we need to talk about. Personnel decisions. Every budget dollar ultimately flows through the decisions made by the city council.
Yes.
So listen, they hold all the power. So they can stop trying to, make people believe that they don't know why this is happening or they don't know why that is happening.
Yeah.
You got to be paying attention because these people are slick.
Yes. Now, Corey says, and blaming IH is diabolical. Yes, yes. And also, they are all worried about Uptown and not their own district. That part, sir, that part. They gave Muskogee County School District $4 million 1 week. The next week, they came and asked for $150,000 more with no explanation of what it was for. And they approved it. No questions, no comment, nothing. And that's the truth, sir.
Right.
That is the truth.
So you see the type of game that they play.
That is the truth.
They throw rocks, hide their hands, and pretend like they don't know what happened.
And don't have money for things that matter for the district. They don't have money for things that matter.
Yeah, so listen, and that's why we got to get people in there who care about the city, who actually care and going to put the work in.
Right.
And not just up there for status, not just up there to hold a seat, not just up there for popularity. We need people in there who are going to be serious, who actually care about the city, not just their district, but the whole district, the whole city. You know what I mean? So we got to do our part too.
Right, because one, we may only be able to vote for one district and then those at large, but all of them, like Crab's motion to criminalize homelessness affects all of us. You said the sheriff department, thank you, affects all of us. Yep. So that's how powerful, she may not be my specific district person, but her motion, her lack of respect, her disrespect, her carelessness and lack of empathy for homeless or the unhoused, it affects the entire city. And that's what people need to understand. It affects the entire city.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, we got to be paying attention because these people are doing things and pulling the strings and trying to act like they don't know.
2 Broncos for $80K. Why? Yes, sir. I don't know.
Wait, 2 what?
He said I got the receipts. 2 Broncos for $80K. Why? Listen. That can wait. That can definitely wait.
Listen, we can't make it up. We can't make it up, but that's what we're dealing with.
And then also, Corey has put some information out before too about the TAD districts, right? That's an interesting thing to learn about because those are supposed to be districts where the funding that's made in those districts help to fund. The district is like an investment situation. I have to look it up so I know exactly what I'm talking about. But we have a lot of TAD districts that are supposed to be like doing an ROI, return on investment type stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but like Major Turner says, that's where we are. Yeah. That's where we are.
So now, what do you think about the city manager? They wanted to wait. They wanted to wait to fund and provide the HR director for finance what they needed. Yeah. But they don't want to wait until we got a new mayor to get a city manager. What do you think about that?
That's strategic. That's strategic that they had to get the city manager in there to do their bidding. You know what I mean? That's what that's about. And the man was appointed on city council.
Right.
He doesn't have any experience outside of that with city council or city government. And he got a huge raise which is just
over $40,000.
You can't explain that one.
Yeah.
You can't explain that one.
So explain to me how somebody that's worked over 40 years in the government,
Yeah.
And 20 years of those or 20 years plus was city manager,
yeah.
and somebody brand new to the scene is making $260,000 with no experience in city manager, city government, nothing. Explain that to me.
Right. Right.
Listen, I have.
Yeah, and what do y'all think about it? The $260,000 that he got, and what do you think about the city councilors who voted for this, who voted for him?
That
you know
part,
what I mean, to get this
that
raise.
part. Let's go back to Miss Garrett.
Okay.
She is upset that the African American mayor said he was going to give the city employees raises. She is upset and angry. But your spouse has voted for a $260,000 base pay for a city manager with no city manager experience. Make it make sense.
Right. And listen, what do y'all know, or what do you think about those who are in office who are getting paid? They taking pay cuts. They can't even get the money they need or deserve or supposed to have.
Yeah, that smile came off my face real quick when you said that.
I mean, that's just diabolical what they're doing up there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And these people got to come up there and beg and beg these people for what they're supposed to have.
I believe it is discrimination.
Yeah.
I believe that when somebody like Anchor can say that she's supposed to get $50,000, she only asked for $43,000, which honey, you should have asked for all of it plus back pay. And you sit here and try to tell her only 25. Let's just do 25.
Yeah.
Why? It's not okay.
It's not.
And then you have the other person, Solicitor General. Both of their resolutions was approved by council.
Yeah.
To make sure that they were on competitive pay rate or what have you, or what they're supposed to get. Approved before the citizens by council. Now, we had this conversation about what my concern is. The fact that, say you're a counselor and you sit on this council and we're on this council together and we know it's been approved, but then you turn around and call your buddy and be like, hey, we just approved this, but I want you to kill it.
Exactly. That's what's happening.
What's the purpose of having a city council if somebody can call and do that? What's the point of the vote? And people need to be outraged about that. That is unethical in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
For that gentleman, Mr. Allen, to sit up there and talk about he has a right to call his representative.
Yeah.
No, that's a conflict of interest.
It is a conflict of interest.
It's a conflict of interest.
And if you could give them real quick just an example of what they have done to kill something that they approved, it goes to the state and then they make the phone call.
Yeah.
Just give them an example.
Well, they're paid. 2 resolutions for the Solicitor General, and then a resolution, and it's on social media. We shared the exact resolution. It was signed, approved, and moved on up legislatively to the House, which was approved. They turned around, made a phone call. Yeah. So now these people are still not getting paid what they're supposed to be getting paid. Now, she asked for $43,000 in this budget review. Okay, that's not how much she's supposed to get. She's supposed to get what's equivalent to the sheriff. The sheriff, everything he asked for, over budget, $350,000, over budget, $400 million. And he's getting a $50,000 supplement. He's making over $183,000 a year. And you mean to tell me that you won't give her the basics of what's required, what she's supposed to get for the past 9 years?
Right. Sounds
like a lawsuit to me. And I don't know if she's just being kind or if you can sue as an elected official
you can
or
absolutely
what.
Sue. You can
but for the
absolutely
past
sue.
9 years, she has not been getting paid what she's supposed to be getting paid, and she needs to figure out what kind of lawyer can help her get the money, the back pay that she deserves.
And we're talking about the clerk of Superior Court.
Yes, Miss Forte.
Yeah, who's being, railroaded.
Yes, it's not okay, and we need to be outraged about that. A brand new person coming to city manager position and $260,000, and you don't want to pay $180,000 to an elected official. You want to deduct her pay $8,000 when she first got in the seat? That is disgusting.
And then question her when she's trying to move money around
In
that's
her own
already
department.
that's already been allotted, that she's trying to move around. They're questioning her like she's up to something bad, or she's trying to, misuse the funds.
And see, this is the difference. You know, Crab is just outright nasty.
Yeah.
Anchor is outright nasty. Let's make it 25,000.
Yeah.
But Mr. Allen and Davis, oh, they are sneaky with theirs. Most times, Mr. Allen. Davis, I will not, I won't.
Yeah.
You know,
I cannot.
but he's making sure, you know, he's moving mountains for the airport.
Right.
Let me get these comments.
Because he's
real quick.
invested.
Yes, that part. Let's see. I have the receipts for every counselor travel spending balance. All right, Mr. Wilson. One person spent close to 10K. Yeah, and I bet I can guess who that is. Miss Tucker, right? Now, she ain't supposed to have no 10K worth of spending. So what? She's borrowed from the other counselors because they're not doing any form of professional development or traveling
that's probably how they do it.
They're
That's probably how they
giving
do
her
it.
money. Right. And we got to wonder why. Why is she taking so much of this money, 10K, and doing all of this stuff? We got to ask why.
Yeah.
Anchor being on the council is a conflict of interest.
It is.
What
absolutely.
district is his business in? That's right.
His business in District 3.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think they're both in District 3.
Right. So from 10, that's Cusetta.
Yeah.
Straight down that road.
Yeah.
And then the other one's on the other end.
Yes, they're both in District 3.
Three, right?
He's got 3, but I'm not sure where the third one is at, but I know 2 of them are in District 3. So yeah.
And then,
absolutely a conflict of interest.
Yeah, and Corey, when we went to the data center listening forum with Becca, those Caucasian people in there, just so you understand what I'm talking about, they said he wasn't paying livable wages to his employees, that he only did seasonal work. So he gets up there and brags as if he's doing good things in our community and he hires a lot of people, but he's not paying them well. And they are communicating that. I'm trying to say it wasn't us.
Yeah.
It's those people who were communicating that he's not paying livable wages.
Right. So, yeah, Anchor will absolutely be out of there.
Right.
Tuesday.
Right.
We'll be out of there.
That's the truth.
So, again, we can't say how important this election is, how critical this election is.
Yes.
Because we got to break up this coup, if you will, that they got going on City Council.
Right. And you know, when you say that, it just makes me think about when we have people that look like us who say that, you know, that the campaign is trying to, you know, form their own, you know, superpower or what have you with this election, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what exactly do you want? Do you want people to continue to disrespect you, public works, directors that look like you? Do you want people to continue not getting the pay that they deserve? Do you want people like Z. Lawrence, who's doing great things in our community with the music, not to be able to have the right to have a commission here? Because white people, Republican, MAGA people on that city council board don't feel like she should be the person in charge of it. That's mainly what it is they don't want her to be the face of it.
Right.
Maybe if it was, what's the little girl's name? Haley, Becky, whatever her name is, that's over the arts, maybe it would have already been approved and passed. So is that what you're advocating for when you're trashing and selling out our community? Is that what you're advocating for? More of that?
Seems to be.
I'm confused. I'm confused.
But was all in tears about the youth and don't do this to our youth and they don't deserve this, they can't afford this. You know what I mean?
At this point, I mean, it means nothing.
Crocodile
tears.
Not
it means
at all.
Nothing.
Not at all.
And I mentioned, I appreciate that. I feel like she goes above and beyond to try to explain and make sure we understand in those meetings what's being said and what's being done on record. I feel like she does do that. But it's the same thing for me. Like Mr. Chambers read that whole situation about why Begley is not the person for the job, but he still raised his hand and said yes for him to get the job. So that's what I feel like the confusion is like, okay, well, how do you communicate so well that you understand stuff, but then turn around and go with the flow with stuff? I'm confused about that.
Yeah, we're both confused. Yeah. Because, make it make sense, period.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
And we're not politicians, but I don't feel like we need to work harder and work smarter and not just give in to whatever, demands that people are trying to make that make us lose dignity and respect in our communities.
Right.
Like, it's not worth it to me. It's not worth it. And it's just like Simi Barnes got up there and she didn't agree with the pay, didn't agree that he should be. Then guess what? Her vote didn't say something totally different. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Right. Yeah, if you don't agree, you don't agree.
Right.
Like, you can't say that you don't agree and then still raise your hand that you agree.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We're confused.
Right.
We're confused.
Right.
We're confused.
And if you could have seen the look on Begley's face, he's proud.
Yeah.
He's proud. He's excited. You know what I mean?
That's the American dream for him.
Yeah.
And that's what we continue to contribute to when, in fact, we don't hold people accountable and they feel like they can just do whatever because they think we're not paying attention in what's going on in the city government.
Right. And for the most part, people are not paying attention.
That
and if
part.
you are paying attention, you're not speaking out. You're not
That
showing up
part.
to the city council, making your voice heard, making your concerns heard,
Right.
getting in some good trouble,
That part.
ruffling some feathers. You know what I mean? Making sure these people know your name, know who you are. Yeah, it's not happening, but it's changing. It's changing. But we need more people to get involved, period. If you want a different outcome, if you want a better Columbus, you know what I mean? If you want different than what's going on right now, you got to show up and show out and contribute.
And let's talk about Better Columbus, because one of the topics is the standards being low in our communities. What's your thoughts on that? And in the comments, please tell us, what's your thoughts on the standards being low in our community?
Yeah, I just want to know. I want to know what you think when it comes to leadership and accountability. You know, do we not hold people accountable anymore? Like, it's uncomfortable to hold people accountable now, it seems.
Right.
You know what I mean? So people don't want to do it.
Right.
They don't want to do it. They'll think it, or they'll have the conversations in private, but publicly, they will not do it. And that's part of the problem in Columbus, and especially in our community, when people are not qualified, they have not done anything in their district, in their community, but they're running for district whatever.
Yes.
They're running for city council and don't have any kind of resume or receipts to show the progress that they've done or made in the district and in the city.
And it's not like we haven't asked. It's not like I have explained. I'm sitting on the edge waiting for the rest of it, the receipts, the this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's nothing there. But every day that I drive through South Lumpkin Road or North Lumpkin Road, I'm looking at illegal dumping. I'm looking at trash. I'm looking at big mattresses. I'm looking at high grass. I'm looking at carts and all kinds of things that's out of shape that our children are walking to, at least Key Elementary, Eddy Middle School, Columbus Elementary, that library, and looking at a community that is just less than what is appropriate for our community.
Right.
And what are you doing? It's not enough to say I work in the community. It's not enough to say I live in the community. We need to know, what have you done? And when I did see you on the city council meeting, you were talking about your business and an upcoming show that you had coming up, but nothing about the issues and the concerns of the community. So it's time out for visibility. It's time out for access to, proximity and all those kinds of things. And we need to see people that are willing to work, that can acknowledge the problem, implement some solutions. And that doesn't have a color.
That's right.
It doesn't have a color. Leadership does not have a color. And people need to understand that. It's all about the quality and the most qualified person. And I will be the first to say, yes, I am for African American people. I love our people. Why not? Why not? But at the same time, the amount of work that needs to be done and the amount of neglect that District 7 has experienced, if you can't show me that you have the wherewithal, the skills, the abilities, the resources to get it moving in the right direction, you're not it. And that's not personal. You're just not it.
Right. And again, there's nothing wrong with saying if the person is not qualified. You have to hold people accountable. Otherwise, they'll get in there and it'll be business as usual and nothing will get done. and the district will continue to look dilapidated, and you'll have all this blight, and it'll look abandoned, and you'll continue all of this crime if you don't put the right people in there.
Right. And Corey says photo ops isn't community work. It's not.
Exactly.
It is not.
I'm glad you said that, because that's part of the
It's
problem
not.
too. People showing up during election season, taking pictures of them picking up trash, or taking pictures of them being at a community event. Like it's not.
Where
it's time
have
out for
you
that.
been in between time? Where have you been? And you know, if you're a business owner and you won't even mow the right of way in front of your business because it's a city property, that's poor leadership for me. That's not gonna cut it, because that means the effort is low, the standards are low.
Yeah.
And if it's that low, then I can't expect for you to do much more than that as a city councilor.
Exactly. And
You
you're a part of the problem.
And
you're a part of the problem.
excuses won't cut it. You
Right.
know, there's no excuses. This is a tough economy for everybody right now. About the second time I've heard somebody say they had to put their cars aside because they cannot afford gas at the moment. Groceries, everything is high. Everybody is feeling the heat of what's going on in this climate. But we still got to get out and do the work. And it's just like hearing this man this morning, 4 jobs, honey.
Yeah.
Plus still coming and working at the church and adding to his community. It's just no room for excuses.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. So real quick, let's see. So the question is, do we treat our neighborhoods like places that we're proud of?
Wow.
We just talked about blight. We just talked about businesses being unkempt. What about the property maintenance? What about litter? What about community ownership? What about civic engagement? So, there's no other way around it. Like,
Right.
you know, if you claim that you want to be a leader in your community, number one, it doesn't take a title for you to claim that you're a leader.
That's right.
You know what I mean? If you're a leader and you're doing the work, you don't need a title.
That's right.
So, yeah, it's frustrating, and we can get back to the standards when it comes to our community and our people.
Real quick. So, Mr. Wilson says integrity is lost upon a lot of them. Correct.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Person says, I'm wondering why Buena Vista Road has been under construction for what feels like decades. Last couple of times I drove onto the Steam Mill Road turnoff, I only saw 3 construction workers, but I drive down Whitesville Road and it's countless workers everywhere, every day, and it's only been a month or so. Sir, you are correct.
Yeah.
I do believe Bradley Park is complete. I do believe
so.
Williams Road circled about thing is complete.
It is.
You are correct in that. But see, what I understand is that is not a city project. That is a Georgia Department of Transportation project. And so we don't have any say on how quickly they get the job done and how they allocate their workers or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, the state roads and bridges and things of that nature, they have a responsibility to upgrade infrastructure. And Buena Vista Road was one of those. Now, I do believe like all the other areas, Bradley Park, Williams Road, and did you say another Whitesville? Those are city projects, I believe. And that's why you see a difference in the workload and the time that it's getting done.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
And it's still no excuse. They can still put pressure on us. They can still put pressure on these people to get it done in a timely manner. I mean, there's no excuse for Buena Vista Road to still be out of order or looking like it's looking.
But it's
after
almost
all of
there.
this time. It's almost there, but it's still a long way to go.
It has been a long time.
Yeah.
And so what for me, I'm focused that it's almost there, and I'm looking forward to like what it's going to look like, what the new businesses are going to look like that come into the area. And those are what people that are in District 4 and District 1, however that situation runs together, need to pay attention to, because that's when you need to show up to council. If you don't want more chicken shops, you don't want vape shops, if you don't want, alcohol shops coming to that area, when they come before the city council and they ask for rezoning, you need to show up and you need to tell them we don't want this in our community. we want something else, and you need to speak to your counselors now and figure out what can they help to bring to that neighborhood, as opposed to the things that will try to come to the neighborhood. Because there's a lot of vacant buildings, spaces. There's a lot of great things that could really go there besides the same old type of stuff over and over.
Yeah. And there's a lot of businesses that have had issues and have gone out of business because of the construction.
Yes. Mr. Wilson says, I'm petty. According to Brial and his supporters, they caused an uptick on the progress.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know about that one, sir. I don't know. I don't think he contributed to it. But you know what I was looking forward to?
He didn't.
Was, you know, he did Cooper Creek's flower bed or whatnot.
Brial?
Yes, honey. As you enter, he put flowers down. He invested his own money and put flowers down, and he showed us how easy it is to do some area beautification. And so
how can he do that though? Like how? He's not a city councilor. He's not a.
He just went out there and put flowers, honey. And I think I did hear the mayor say,
you can't just do what you want to do with the city property.
Right. That's what the mayor said. He's like, y'all need to let us know now because somebody got to water it.
Yeah, you can't just do what you want to do. If that's the case.
The mayor said somebody got to water this stuff. You know, somebody got to keep up with it. So yeah, you know.
And I get it in certain places where the city's not taking the initiative to keep it beautiful. I get it if you got to get up there and cut the grass yourself or beautify it yourself. But and that's if you're gonna continue and water the plants and keep it up. Go ahead and adopt that area and maintain it. But if you're not, like, we haven't seen any more videos with him in the community upgrading and contributing. In positive ways. We haven't seen any of that. And that's what I thought. I was like, okay, so maybe he's turned a leaf and maybe he's going to find another project in the city that needs to be taken care of, and handle it. He has disappeared in that way. And that's what happens. And that's what we're used to. People show up during these election seasons, doing the most. And then once they have lost or what have you, they are on to the next. On to the next. So listen, make sure that y'all are paying attention to these people who were in the race, whether it was mayor or city council. After this election cycle is over, what happens to these people? Yeah. So we'll be updating y'all.
What kind of community service are they continuing to do?
Yeah, we'll be updating y'all what we find and what we see.
Absolutely. And because they will definitely disappear. Social media pages are empty for over a year. And all of a sudden you show up talking about what you care about and how you want to do this. Please, now. Come on, folks. Come on, now.
That's what we're dealing with. But,
And apparently that's what works for folks. That's what's been working for folks all this time. It's just, I can disappear. I can take a hiatus. And when an election season roll around again, all right, let me put on my community service hat, and let me show up and wave and pretend, I love my community and I've been in my community. Some of them ain't even doing that, honey.
Well, listen,
how you show up at the Ralston? How you show up at the Ralston? Because it's a whole lot of dedicated voters, to get an automatic number of votes.
Yeah.
What about all the problems?
Are they dedicated voters?
I don't know. But
I don't think they are.
Problems they've been going through at that place. Where you been prior to that?
And that's all we're saying. That's all we're saying.
That's all we're saying. Honey, please. Yeah. I would be ashamed. I would be embarrassed to just be popping up at
folks are not ashamed.
With
They're
people,
not embarrassed.
Like I've been supporting them all this time.
Yeah.
And just really, I'm showing up to see how many votes I can get.
No shame. No shame in the game.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, you haven't been doing no ice cream and hot dogs all year long. You haven't.
Right.
So make those things consistent. Make it quarterly. Make it something. But anybody with good sense can read and see through that kind of foolery.
Yeah. But yeah, folks, we got to pay attention, period. We got to keep paying attention to let people know that we're watching. So yeah, what can we segue into next?
Well, what do you want to talk about as it regards, what we celebrate most in our communities?
Yeah, that's a good one.
How you doing, Mr. Rogers?
That's a good one. Welcome to CANDID, sir. Salute to you.
Yes.
But that's a good one. What we celebrate most in our community. So I listened to a documentary, or I watched a documentary, and the guy was talking about entertainers having the greatest influence in the African American community.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And their low values and low standards are influencing the masses. And it's true. It's true. And I think about it, I think back to when I was a teen or a young man. Music and entertainment is held, it is the biggest.
It's a big deal now.
It's a big deal, but it's one of the biggest influencers in the world. Music and entertainment. Trouble that they can get into, they can get out of because of their influence.
Right.
That the regular person, a regular person can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
right.
Yeah. But just to go back to what we're talking about, they absolutely wield power over the community. Now, BET is supposed to be black entertainment television. But if you watch BET consistently, what are the messages that they're putting out?
What shows are you watching on repeat?
Listen, is that helping our community, the stuff that they're putting out, or is it hurting our community? The music that's being played out of your radio and off your radio stations, is it helping our community, or is it hurting our community?
Right.
And then what do you do if you're a DJ? How do you justify playing this type of music?
Right.
But you're a man of God, or you have all these morals and values.
Yes.
How can you justify playing this music to our kids, to our community? So please put the comments in the comment section. But yeah, somebody told me you got to separate yourself from some of our people who don't want better.
That's true.
Because you can't save everybody as much as you would like to. We can't save everybody.
Right.
Because everybody don't want to do better. And the ones that do want to do better, they get looked at like they're bougie. You think you're better than somebody. That's not the case.
Yeah,
That's
on
not
your
the case.
high horse, all kind of foolery.
That is not the case. So please put in the comment section on what y'all think, because this is a problem in our community.
Yes.
People who have low standards, low values are leading our people and our kids down a path of destruction. And it's a vicious cycle.
Right.
It's a vicious cycle that we can't even get out of.
Right.
Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Travis Scott, Big X the Plug, and I can go on and on. Future. These people are leading our kids and our community down a path of destruction, and it's a vicious cycle.
Yes. All right. How you doing, beautiful Miss Debbie? How you doing?
Miss Debbie, welcome to CANDID.
Mr. Wilson says that's a white supremacy construct on a psychological level. Absolutely, sir.
I disagree.
They're funding it.
They are funding it.
Yeah.
But our people are complicit too.
We're complicit, but they dirty
the lady, Bob Johnson, who used to own BET, he's a smart man. He's not an idiot. He's contributing to this. He's complicit. You know what I mean? And what's the lady who took over for him? These people are complicit in endangering our community and killing our community with this music, with these movies, and this entertainment. And it's really sad. It's really sad.
Right.
And if you say something, you think you're better. You know what I mean? If you try to speak clearly, you're talking white.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
Now, Mr. Rogers says the movie Boys in the Hood influenced the name of the gang here. Wow, in Columbus back in the early 90s.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's what we're dealing with right there.
Wow.
That's what we're dealing with.
And also, music and movies marketed to us holds a big influence over our communities. It's so true.
Thank you.
It is
Thank
so
you.
true.
And that's all I'm saying. What is that? What is that? Like, and it's having such a damaging effect on our people, and people don't even realize that.
Right.
Entertainers and entertainment is one of the biggest things in this world. If you're an entertainer, you can get away with murder. You don't have to have no morals, no value, no moral compass. You know what I mean? You don't have to have any. Nobody's gonna hold you accountable. You just get out here and spew hate and spew.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool,
Yeah.
and you're getting awards to do this.
Yeah.
You're getting BET awards. You're getting MTV awards. You're getting invited here. You're getting flown out here. You know what I mean? So they are incentivized to destroy our community.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Now listen, some years ago, people came for me from the Beehive and Beyonce, right? Because I don't believe she raises her children. I would hope, like, some of the words and things that that everybody else's children are listening to on a normal basis and on repeat, the cuss words and all those things. You know, I don't think that's normal for her kids.
It's not normal.
But listen,
and she lives in a gated community. Like,
but
come
it's
on.
being pushed out, and our children are buying it and paying it and listening to it on repeat.
Right.
And so, you know, how are you a role model? How do you care about our culture? How do you call it art and entertainment when in fact it's hurt? I mean, the influence is real. Whatever you doing, they doing. Whatever you saying, they're saying. So where do we draw the line? Because some people are off limits when it comes to our community. Oh, you can't hold them accountable for that. You got to do this, you got to do that. So where do we draw the line?
Listen, we got to cut them off. Because listen, Jay-Z just did this big concert at Philly. Jay-Z just did this big concert, and he got beef with all these different people. He's 50 plus. Jay-Z is knocking on 60, and you got rap beef, and you calling people out. And like, this is just... You know, this is just crazy.
Miss Debbie said Beyonce is grown woman music.
Yeah, listen.
Oh, yes.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
Beyonce is not teaching her kids. She's telling her kids one thing. Yeah, she's going out here and performing and doing all these songs to influence
Cardi
the masses. Yeah, but she ain't now. Cardi B is a whole nother.
You think her babies are getting that, honey?
Yes.
Oh.
Cardi B is ignorant. Let's just call it what it is. She is ignorant.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. A lot of these entertainers who are ignorant are leading our kids astray. Period. Point blank.
And Mr. Wilson says a politician can do that too, and they do.
I agree.
They do.
A whole 100%.
And honestly, politics, like, you know, it was bad at one point. It has gotten worse today. Because, you know, you used to look at them.
I don't know if it's gotten worse.
Yeah, honey.
Listen, during the Civil Rights Movement, it was, oh.
I'm talking about the politics that be in the comments on social media as opposed to doing work they need to be doing in the communities and making the phone calls they need to be making.
Yeah.
Yeah, you in comments calling people names, you in people inboxes, you know, calling people names, but you're an elected official or you want to be an elected official. Where did we start? That is low-hanging fruit.
Yes.
And you got to understand the difference between a private citizen and their rights and what we elected you to do, which is not be in people's comments and in their inboxes calling them names and being disrespectful to citizens that you claim you want to serve. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Now I agree, Miss Perry, Miss Debbie, that this is grown woman music. But guess who is listening to it and guess who is buying it?
Yeah.
It's the babies.
Yeah, and music is marketed to a certain demographic in a certain age group. It's not marketed to us.
Yeah.
I think it's like 18 to 25 is who it's marketed to. Like, it's not marketed to older people. It's marketed to those who are influential. I mean, who can be influenced.
She said, hold up, King George. My adult twin granddaughter said Beyonce music is grown woman music. It is.
But Miss Debbie, what does that mean though? Are you saying that kids shouldn't be listening to it? Like, what does that mean?
But they have access to it on Apple Music, the store,
BET,
all of it. Yes, they have access to all of it. And of course, we love our entertainers, right? We love them. But are they doing a moral responsibility to us and our children and our community when is that the best you can do? That's how creative you have to be, is half naked and half whatever with your music? I mean, back in the day, they said some of the same stuff, but you wasn't knowing it. You wasn't outright knowing exactly what they were saying. Because,
I mean, music, and Dr. Hood said this to me, you can't even call that music nowadays, what's on the radio. That's not music. That's not music. That's witchcraft, if you ask me. That's something else. And when I hear it, listen, I get like grieved. When I hear it, when I'm scrolling on the radio station trying to find me something, if I hear it, it does something to me.
Yeah, I don't even listen to the radio like that. So I have my stations that I listen to, the music I want to listen to. I couldn't tell you what's popular today, what's hot today at all.
But listen, what happened to Dougie Fresh? You know what I mean? Ain't no more Dougie Fresh. What happened to Kool and the Gang? What happened to what's the other rap group? But the point I'm trying to make here is Eric B and Rakim. Like, that type of music that made you feel good and want to dance. It's no longer around. you know.
Mr. Wilson says this is where the village is needed that we had.
Yes.
We just have to be better adults and show some decorum and modesty. Yes, I can laugh out loud. That's right. That's right. That's right.
It's leading our people astray.
And
we already know that single parent household, we already know the statistics that comes with kids who grow up in a single parent household. And I think it's 65%, it might be 75% now. 75% of our kids grow up in a single parent household, which is not a death sentence. But if it's instability there, then yeah, it's definitely a death sentence. And it's going to be hard for them to make it out of those circumstances and not become a casualty or a victim of statistics. You know, not become another statistic.
Now, Miss Debbie says, no, they were saying it is grown woman music because it's how they identify her music. Okay. They acknowledge that is an adult music. Yes, smiling. I'm trying to explain myself. Yes, we agree with that.
Yeah.
We agree that it is grown woman music, and we're also saying that unfortunately that's just not the ears that it's landed on all the time. It's landed on little ones, you know, their ears. They in love with some Beyonce, they in love with Cardi B, they in love with these people who are feeding their ears trash at a young age.
Yeah.
And just back to what Corey said, you know, I grew up in a single family home, a single parent home, but my mom did not play. He wasn't listening or watching or any kind of foolery on the TV or on the radio. And that's where the standards have went out the window. I told you we could be in the car, let us look like we wanted to mumble or sing anything coming out the radio. My mom would look back and I'm like, oh, you know, because she go to swinging hands and all kinds of stuff, landed in your face type parenting, right? So today we are with our kids, we're friends with our kids, they're listening to the same music we're listening to, they're vaping like we're vaping, they're drinking like we're drinking. That is the problem, what's going on today with our parenting in our communities. And a lot of these people show up in church on Sunday, every Sunday.
Oh man, let's not get into that. But but yeah.
She says, I totally disagree with single parent homes and there are issues. Yes, ma'am. Okay, now expand on what you mean with the disagree with the single parent homes. And then Curtis Mayfield, you're a pusher man. Music have always been music, laugh out loud. And that's the truth. I still listen to the song. Adults and morals have changed. Yes.
It has. And what I meant by single parent, when I was giving the statistic about single parent households, I'm not saying a child is going to be a failure because they grew up in a single parent household, but what the statistics shows is it's harder for a child to succeed or come out of the hood and make it if they're in a single parent household. They have more challenges than somebody who grows up in a two parent household. That's all I'm saying. They're much more susceptible to become a statistic. Early teen pregnancy, juvenile delinquency, getting locked up, dropping out of school.
Or repeating the cycle.
Yeah, so they're much more susceptible to end up a statistic if they're born in a single parent household because they have more challenges to face because I'm not saying there's not stability in a single parent household, but they have to face more challenges because the father might not be around.
Yeah, but on the
mother might not be around.
On the other end of that, people who grow up in single family homes.
You just gone, bro.
They
old as I can tell.
That grow up, honey. That grow up in single parent homes, right? They have an unction to work harder, to achieve more. And because I grew up saying, wow, my mom works really hard. She worked multiple jobs to take care of us. That fueled me to work hard and to be a high achiever and to make sure I didn't, become a statistic. So, I think it depends on the person at the end of the day on how they take the environment, because some people in that same environment would be like, okay, well, I'm going to end up the same way as my mom or my dad. So it depends on the person.
Yeah, and again, not every child in a single parent household is going to end up a statistic.
Right.
But it's highly likely. It's
Right.
the majority of kids, not the minority, the majority of kids in a single parent household become statistics. It's unfortunate, but it's reality.
Yeah, environment has a lot to do with that, and then the
Yeah.
dynamics of how the child is wired has a whole lot to do with that as well.
Well, that's why I'm talking about the music. The music is contributing to the child, you know, going. What's the word I'm looking for? Rebelling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you become what you think about.
Right.
So if you're constantly hearing this music that's telling you to rob, steal, kill, rape,
Yes.
then that's what you're going to become.
Yes.
That's what you're going to become. So,
Yes.
and I worked in the juvenile justice system, and every kid I talk to, they want to be a rapper. Every kid I talk to,
Wow.
they want to be a rapper. And there was upwards of, how many kids did we have? I think it was somewhere around 100 kids in a facility. Out of that 100, I would say 95, 96% wanted to be a rapper. And it's cool if you want to be a rapper, but guess what? Your songs are not going to sell unless you're talking about drug dealing, killing, stealing, robbing, raping,
But when
having
did it
sex.
transition to that? Because hip hop
In
did
the
not
90s.
start out like that.
In
right?
the late 80s, early 90s, when NWA came on the scene and who else? That's really when it started. Late 80s, early 90s. I would say when NWA came on the scene, that's when it came on the scene.
Changed, because I don't remember hip hop coming out like that. Now, Miss Debbie says a lot of two-family parent households have more issues than single-parenting homes. This is my truth. Amen. It's the truth.
Okay.
My experience. I love y'all. Yes, that's the truth now, Miss Debbie. People who can be in a two-parent home, have a love it, and come out and be a killer, honey. Come out and be an assault person, come out and end up in jail all their life. So it is the dynamics that contribute to the environment, and then also the child, just in general.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, would you say, think about this reasonably, would you say a child is more likely to end up on drugs or in prison or an early mother or father or on drugs or drop out of school that come from a two-parent household, or are they more likely to experience those things coming from a single-parent household? That's all I'm saying. The statistics show they're more susceptible to those things coming from a single-parent household because there's no structure. Mom is working 1 or 2 jobs, so the kid has to parent themselves. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Mr. Pearson says we get a lot of artists booked in Columbus, never any positive, conscious artists like J. Cole types, but we will get people like Lil Boosie and other trap style artists constantly. Book them for club events at the Civic Center. Yes, that's the truth.
Yeah, it is what it is.
The quality of the artists that they bring here is questionable. And Miss Debbie says, I totally disagree, King George.
I got you, Miss Debbie. I got you. Listen, that's what this is all about. We can all agree to disagree. You know what I mean? That's why we do this, because we just want to have the conversation.
Woo, yes, yes. And that's the truth now. And listen, Mr. Pearson, I was thinking about, they had the gospel lady come, and she is an alcoholic, and she's an alcoholic and, cursor and all that. And they had her come to do a halftime. So, I don't know who picking these
She's not
folks.
leading nobody astray, though. Like, she ain't talking about rob, steal, kill, sell drugs, rape. She ain't talking about none of that. That's all. You know what I mean? She might not be a saint,
Oh, Jesus.
but she ain't talking about...
But she's supposed to be, though. That's
I'm
all
just
I'm
saying,
trying to say.
even if she's not...
Leandra Johnson. Yes, she's supposed to be.
She not sending your kid down a path of destruction. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Lil Boosie could never give my kid advice. Big X the Plug could never give my kid advice. Cardi B could never give my kid advice.
Today.
Megan Thee Stallion, and the list goes on. And we can even go to actors. Some of these actors, you can never give my kid advice.
Miss Debbie says, y'all, I'm 67 years old. My views are different. Yes, ma'am. And we respect your views, and they are always welcome, ma'am.
Yes.
They are always welcome.
We appreciate you. We
Yes,
appreciate you.
yes. So,
But yeah, it's frustrating. I'm telling you, it's frustrating because they are influencing our community. These actors, entertainers, rappers, whatever you want to call it, they are heavily influencing our communities and leading our people down a path of destruction. And it's a vicious cycle that keeps happening.
And it's hard for parents today to keep up with everything, with technology and everything that's going on, unless you're going to take it all away and isolate them from the world. Because I'm going to tell you where they're going to get a lot of this stuff from the school.
Yeah, you can't give your kids 24 hours.
To a lot of things in school. And I'll never forget, I told you, athletic young man at the school, you know, he's the top of the sports pyramid or what have you. And he's on the corner with a vape. And I just see smoke and I'm like, my eyes, they must be, let's see. Yes, right?
Yeah.
And so the next day when I see him at school, I said, you know what, young man? I seen your twin. I seen your twin standing on the corner. He had a vape. And do you know the young man told me that his mother allowed it, that it was okay?
You see?
If
that was even the truth, though.
Middle school,
it's
likely that he wasn't lying.
Well, I don't know.
Because who stands out in the public? We're not even hiding it at this point.
Well, that's because nobody's holding them accountable. Nobody. You can walk through the hood. Nobody's going like, hey, you shouldn't be vaping, young man. Nobody's going to say that to you. Nobody's going to say that.
Well, that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. Because if we're not collecting folks, when we see them, you know, misbehaving and doing stuff like that, that's part of the problem.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And we can't be afraid. We cannot be afraid to say, come on here, young man, or come on here, young lady, because they going to get you. The young lady in my class, and she's 7th grade, talking about looking at me like you ain't never heard no cuss words before. I was like, oh, okay.
Listen, I remember as a kid, I would never forget, me and my best friend, I think this was around 2nd, 3rd grade, we were just out here, so we walking from school, but we're misbehaving. I'm not going to say what we were doing, but we're misbehaving. You know, we're getting in trouble and doing stuff we know we shouldn't be doing. Somebody drove by, I'm going to tell your mama. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell your daddy, and we stopped.
Yeah.
But that is no longer the case. And like Corey said, that's why the village is needed.
That's
and
so
I don't
true.
even know how we get back to the village. And please put in the comment section your solution of how we get back to it takes a village, because we need it.
That's so true. So I told you, I shared how we used to drive the van to Sunday school.
Yeah.
Drive the van, ride the van to Sunday school. We had to sit on the front row when my mom was not present. Had to sit on the front row of church.
Bless your
and
heart.
it's just me and my sister sitting up there, you know. And before we could make it home, Miss Preche, I'll never forget her, Deaconess Preche, the girls was talking. They was talking in church today. And there go a beat down waiting for us by the time we get home. It's not that strict anymore. You know, people don't care to reach out and, you know.
I just gave you statistics, so why it's not like that?
Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Wilson says, children don't know what they want to be for real. The ones at risk don't have access to good mentors or positive men, women in their life. The influence is these dope dealers and scammers now. That's so true. Miss Debbie says, okay, we had a white young man to work at our print shop on a city-funded program. His father was a police officer. I didn't know the program existed for our African-American children. He was Oh, Miss Debbie, don't have me trying to curse on here now. Miss Debbie, she said he was bad. Let me leave it at that. Let me see. Oh, help today. Wait, okay. Bad. We didn't have any issues with him. He came from a 2-parent home with a father as a police officer. I'm tracking with you, ma'am. I'm tracking with you. Hello, beautiful. How you doing, Sherry? Counselor-elect Sherry. How you doing? Woo, she says.
Oh, man.
I understand the stats that you are referring to. However, Miss Debbie, I am with you. I disagree as well. I don't have very many friends that were raised in a 2-parent household. Actually, if I think of my upbringing, I don't know if I knew any outside of one friend that had both parents in their household. With that being said, my friends are so successful in their own right. However, there is a different drive that we had growing up. That's true. The generations are different. Miss Debbie says, Natalie, Nicole, my queen sister, was giving y'all love. Okay. And then Sherry says, music definitely influenced behavior. I cringe at some of the music my children listen to. Yes.
Not some. It's all
dark,
bad.
honey. It's
all
dark.
bad.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. often I'll force myself to listen, as well, because they are going to listen in front of me, if not behind my back. I, as a parent, just do my best to be a great role model. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can't be like, oh my gosh, you can't listen to this, because
I'm gonna tell you.
Right, because they're gonna find
if
a way.
I hear it,
they're gonna find a way to listen to it anyways. And so, growing up, there was a Jackson 5. The man was the pastor. They had 5 boys. They told their kids they was not allowed to listen.
Who's the pastor?
When I was growing up.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the real Jackson 5.
Their last names were Jackson.
Okay.
And they had 5 boys,
Okay.
right? Drummer, music,
All right.
the whole bit, right? And they were not allowed to listen to secular music at all. And their dad would break CDs if he found them and throw them out in the trash. That's how strict they were. But these kids had anger issues.
Yeah, but that's not why they had anger issues. No, that's another issue there.
Issues.
No.
They were disgruntled. Yes, honey.
Because they couldn't listen to music?
Yes.
No.
Because, not just because they couldn't listen to music, but because of that environment. They weren't allowed to just be kids, honey.
But when you say allowed to be kids, kids don't know what's best for them.
I know,
So are you just supposed to lead them to their own devices?
I'm just saying, the
who's
parents
the parent
were
and
super
who's
strict.
the kid? Like, you got to tell the kid.
Super strict. That's all I'm saying.
I get it, but what's your definition of strict? And please put your definition of strict in the comment section.
That part was stricter than my mom. Like, she didn't throw away no CDs and break CDs, but at the same token, we wasn't buying them either.
Okay, but so what do you do if your child is listening to me? If you come home from work and you hear mother, and you hear, you know what I'm saying, you know the worst of the worst songs. If you hear that blasting when you come in your house, what do you do?
It was not allowed to have secular music, period.
I get that. In my house, my mom and dad, you're not about to listen to anything you want to listen to in their house. You know what I mean? But we would listen to it when they weren't around. Mm-hmm. When we were with our friends, we would listen to it. You know what I mean? So I understand that you can't be everywhere at all times. But all you can do as a parent is the best that you can do to influence your kids.
I know.
To do what's right, you know what I mean? To listen to music that's going to
empower
them.
They can listen to. I'm saying they was not allowed to listen to secular. It just had to be gospel.
Same with the Dixons.
Oh.
Same with them. No, nothing secular. Only gospel. So, and none of them ain't in prison. None of them ain't in jail. None of them, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Like, well, listen, we want to know your comments. What is the solution when your kid is being led down a path of destruction by these entertainers? Like, what's the solution?
Mr. Wilson says a lot of stuff our parents did to us was wrong. They had good intentions, but the execution was terrible. Be terrible. That is so true, sir.
Yep,
that is so true. It's a blessing we in our right minds.
Listen, so how do y'all feel about Joe Clark? Was Joe Clark too extreme? Was he out of control? Was he, you know, what? If you seen Lean on Me, if you have not seen Lean on Me, please go watch it. It was a true story. Was Joe Clark too hard? You know what I mean? Y'all saw the result. The kids were able to learn how to read. The test scores improved. More kids graduated. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, well,
what's your thoughts?
So you know how I feel about it. In a classroom environment, in a school environment, I believe it is the educator's responsibility and the staff there to raise the standards, to give the children something to rise and look to and aspire to. We shouldn't be blended in and things of that nature. You know, there's therapy, there's counselors, there's, you know, time and a place for everything. And, you know, we know kids know how to have fun. We know they know the latest music. We know they know all these things, but do they know how to read? Do they know how to comprehend? Do they know the academic language that they should know based on whatever grade they're in? And if they don't know those things, for me, it's like the Army. You have a red, white, and blue phase, honey. We're going to start off strong.
Yeah.
And we're going to gradually get to a place where we can have a little bit more fun. But if we're not where we need to be, I come from a place of we work first and we play later.
Yeah.
And I know that, you know, everybody's not like that. They want to be the friend, they want to be nice, and they want to be this. But I believe in procedures, I believe in structure, I believe in routines, and making sure everybody understands. And once we're online with how you need to show up and what the priority is in class, then we can, gradually get to wherever we need to be. I was a fan of flexible seating. I did not assign seats. You come in, you sit down. I gave a checklist. You knew what you needed to accomplish for that week. And I was able to move around and help as needed. But education was the priority. You're not going to be on the Chromebook looking at God knows what videos. I mean, full of cuss words and videos and things of that nature on the Chromebook while you're supposed to be working on your work. We're not doing that. But close them. And I'll put some music on for everybody, some elevator music for everybody. And it's just to create a structure of understanding, what work ethic looks like, what getting your education looks like. And once you get the foundation, then I can let you fly and kind of do things however you want to do it. But because we're so behind, we can't afford to be going into the classrooms trying to be kids, friends, and hanging out and things of that nature. We got to get them where they need to get. That needs to be the priority to me.
I agree.
Okay, let's see. Mr. Wilson says he was the right amount of extreme. He didn't whoop nobody. He just held them accountable. The parents too. That's right. And what did the parents do? Wanted him out of
there. They wanted him
They had
gone.
meetings and it was like, he got to go and things of that nature. That's a problem in our community as
well. And they saying that's what's happening at Carver. They want this man out of there because he's holding people accountable. That's the narrative.
Right.
So is that the case?
Whoa,
that's
what's going on at Carver? Because they replaced 2 assistant principals.
They said they want this man out of there.
Brought brand new assistant principals, and now they have a new principal. Mr. Day is his name. He's a pastor. I believe he's setting a good standard at the school. So what's the problem? What's the problem?
That's what it seems like. It's the same thing what happened with Mr. Clark. It's the same thing was happening with that man.
I don't know if he's Mr. Turner material, though. I don't even think he's like me.
Mr. Clark?
Yeah, the new principal at Carver. I don't think he's like that.
Well, that's what I'm hearing.
But he has standards. Shirt's got to be tucked in. You got to present yourself.
Yeah, he's not extreme as Mr.
Way.
Clark, but he's holding people accountable. He wants things done a certain way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And people
somebody let us know what happened there. What happened there? Mr. Turner says, my fear is that the children we are noticing now are our future. That part, sir. They too will be parents and can only feed into their children the values they know now.
Thank you, sir.
That is so true. That is so true.
Yeah, so what does 2030 look like? What does 2040 look like? You know what I mean? As far as the future. Yeah. Because,
it's bright. Because we just seen Elijah Crawford at the city council meeting. That young man is sharp, honey.
He is.
He's sharp.
Is. And it's a lot of our kids that are sharp. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
But I'm just concerned that, the future just doesn't look good to me. It doesn't look good. Listen, Mr. Turner, please put in the comment section. Listen, we already talked about those who are voting right now we know what age group votes consistently. We know that, but the generation is getting older and older. What about that younger generation who's not voting?
Right.
Who don't care to vote? Right. What is that going to look like in 10 years? What is that going to look like in 5 years?
And is that just in this city? Because
that's nationally. That's okay. A certain demographic of people vote. We know that people who are homeowners usually vote. We know that people that's between the ages of like 50 to 65, we know they consistently vote. Right. But that younger generation is hit or miss. You know what I mean? So what is Columbus going to look like? They're already trying to redistrict. They're already trying to do that. So with that, coupled with the youth and the younger generation not voting, what does that do to our community and our power in politics? Right. So Miss Debbie says, Wilson, we were not wrong. My mama was not wrong when I missed my curfew. She whipped me for coming home late. Oh, child, I thought I was slick. She had to reach over my sister. My mama didn't play. Miss Daddy, we need those mamas back. We need those daddies back who gonna pull that belt out. And listen, listen to me say this. I'm not a fan of corporal punishment. I'm not a fan of beating the kids. I'm a fan of a corner, things of that nature. I'm not a fan. But I do understand that, listen, that's how we grew up. We got beat. switch, belt, racetrack, whatever,
Ooh,
whatever it was.
Yes.
We got tore up in my house.
Yes.
And I think I got the worst ones.
I imagine, honey. I imagine you did. Now, how you doing, beautiful? Miss Foster says, fun doesn't mean lack of standards or learning, but I understand what you mean. Gotcha. Miss Debbie says, oh, I did not know about Carver. Okay, yes. Something's going on over there.
Yeah, those kids walked out. Those kids was protesting over there.
Yes. They were used to the way Mr. Lindsay enforced rule, and I believe the new leader's approach is not hard enough. Oh, that's what I heard. But that's why leadership shouldn't be based on how it looks, but rather how effective it is. Now, when you say the new leadership wasn't hard enough, is that the new principal, the assistant principals they replaced, that they relocated, or the head principal?
Yeah, but we're going to get into it. We're going to figure it out and then come back next Sunday.
For things, okay, such as not eating, that part, Corey, not eating all of your food is crazy. Yes, sir. Listen, we couldn't even drink anything. We couldn't drink anything until the food was done on the plate. You couldn't get up. Don't even think about having anything to drink until the food was done. That kind of part. That kind of stuff.
That wasn't the story in my household.
Corey says you deserve that whooping, though, for missing the curfew. Laugh out loud. Oh, man. Yes. Now, and Frankie, thanks for your comment. We will have to come back and do some more conversation on that because classroom management, she says fun doesn't mean lack of standards. Classroom management is fundamental. And in middle school, right, it was not a factor until later on down the line because those babies came in and they were going to disrupt and tear up people's classrooms. I had to manage my class, the classroom across the hall, and the classroom next to it because teachers lacked classroom management and because they did not implement I'm the teacher structure, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But yeah, I would love to have that conversation with you because of course we want to make learning fun, but when children aren't tracking that their priority is to be there to learn, then strictness is what comes first.
Well, listen,
for me.
And that's why I'm concerned about the future because listen, even as great of an educator as you are, and as great of a teacher as you are with controlling, managing the time in your classroom, did you still not have discipline problems that you had to deal with every day?
Yeah.
Okay, so versus what it used to look like when we were in middle school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These teachers are underpaid and they got to deal with discipline. Some of these teachers are threatened.
Yeah.
Talk to like dogs. You know what I mean? And this is an everyday thing. Who can put up with that? Yeah. You getting verbally abused every day. Yeah. For $40,000 a year or $50,000 a year. You know what I mean? Like, it's diabolical.
Yeah. So I was considered the strict teacher. I was the teacher you're going to send them to when you can't manage them in your classroom. And I was the teacher that when I walked in, everybody was quiet because they already knew we're not doing this. But that was because the priority, not that learning wasn't fun and not because, they didn't understand that we could have fun in class. Yeah. But the standard was the respect. You're going to do what you're supposed to do. You're going to be on task because that is the priority. And what I'm saying is that sometimes, like Frankie, I have went on the 8th grade hall, honey, and it's dark in there, and it's like the club in there, and people are standing up in the corners in there. And what's that song I told you was playing in there? What's that man?
Surf or
somebody else. Like it was the club in there.
Mask off.
And that's what I'm talking about when I say fun. Like that's not the priority. You're allowing kids to have fun, and they're not getting the education, and they're passing on to the next grade and they can't read and they're not on reading level. Yeah. Those were my issues. Those were my issues for sure. Let's see. Oh, people look in my class and wonder what we were doing, but I didn't, nor do I currently care because my students' ELA test scores improved year over year. And yes, we did literary analysis of the movie ATL. I'm about that kind of life too. Okay. I'm about that life too. Let's see. Mr. Turner, we have to educate. We need to help them understand the urgency now. My generation is the last to see and live whites only. Our time is coming to an end. The time is now Time, date, stamp today. Yes, sir. No, I mean the new principal holds a standard, but his approach is different. You have to give him a chance to lead. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would never fool around in the middle of school jungle. I applaud you. In the middle school jungle. Yes, I was built for it. That's what my gates and my degree is secondary ELA from middle school. I can handle it. And, you know, it takes a certain type of person, because I've met command sergeant majors who are retired, and their class, the children ran her like nothing. And so, yeah, that's a conversation I would love to have, because I feel like that's something, Frankie, that's missing in our schools, is that, you know, today teachers are starting to blend in with students. Call me by my first name. You know, all kinds of stuff. And let me be quiet, because I know we are on a time schedule tonight.
No, it's fine.
Frankie, let's follow up with that. Yes.
It's fine. But yeah, times have definitely changed. Listen, and Major Turner, he knows that he's in the schools, he's mentoring. Times have definitely changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there has to be a different approach. But yeah, teachers are dealing with discipline problems like day in and day out. Some of them can't even teach. They're too busy trying to calm the students down or get order in their classroom.
Yeah.
And some of the principals are no help. You know what I mean? They can't help. And we already know about the education, the pipeline, prison pipeline.
Right.
We already know what that's about.
Right.
They're suspending these students, sending them home, trying to get them out of there.
Yeah, I
They want
wasn't
them
big
anywhere
on none
but
of
school.
that. I'm not big on any of that.
Yeah.
I would assign you a detention, and you would come with me for the morning or the afternoon. And during that time, we're working on missing work. We're working on areas that you need improvement according to my grade book. I'm not big on what's the purpose of sending them home so they can miss more days, or sending them to ISS so they can miss more days.
Yeah.
You know, it's not helpful, you know, for the students. So I wasn't big on that, but I was big on structure, where we got procedures. And listen, we gonna do what we need to do. And as long as you show me that you know how to be responsible and do what you need to do, we good. Come in, sit where you want to sit. We're going to do what we need to do. And as long as we don't have no problems, we don't have no problems. But of course, you know, every now and then we would have some problems. And when people would come back in December after the what have you, and they try to sit there and say, we got to restart and remind, we ain't have that problem in my classroom. They ain't forget. They didn't forget who class they was coming in or what the structures were. We were good.
Yeah.
So we continue to move on. And so I love education. I love middle school, but I cannot support foolery. I can't support that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you finding something for us to talk about? We got a school board meeting on Monday at 5 p.m. at the Education Center on Macon Road. We got a city council meeting on Tuesday at 9 a.m. It's also going to be on Macon Road at the Education Center, because Tuesday is polling day.
Yes, it is.
And so that's where the meeting is going to be. On Wednesday is the Planning Advisory Commission meeting. It's going to be at 9 a.m. It'll be in the regular place of the chambers, on City Council chambers on Wednesday. And then, again, people don't know that they need to go back to the polls. Please continue to share this information.
Please.
That we need to go back to the polls Tuesday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in your neighborhood polling place, okay? And you can look on the 706 Citizens page. It has all of the polling places plus the addresses, or you can go to the My Voter Gov page and put in your information. It'll tell you specifically where you need to go. Absolutely no excuses. If you need rides, contact us, contact the Urban League, contact your church, contact your friend or your neighbor. Somebody will get you to the polls. All right.
Yeah.
We had some meetings this past week, but we will talk about them on another day, on another time. That Development Authority meeting, there's a vacancy. I know 2 African-American males who have applied for that position. District 4, they have yet to hear a verdict on what's going on with that. And, you know, absolutely, to me, at this point, there's no excuse for it. I was in city council. We need board members. We need citizens to participate. Well, when I put that on social media, all these people like, hey, I submitted an application. I submitted an application. I hadn't heard back. So let's go, folks. City council, we need y'all to reach out and put these people in position. They are applying, they want to serve, let's do it.
Exactly. And like you said, the information is not out there or readily available for people to get it so that they can apply. But yeah, we're going to do our part to make sure we put the information out so you guys can have it. But real quick, this is a question that was asked. It says, 20 years ago, our grandparents prayed for opportunities many of us have today. We have more representation, more businesses, more educational opportunities, and more access to information than ever before. Yet many families still struggle with home ownership, wealth building, education, and crime. So they want to know, what is the issue, or why are we still having these issues today? If we have more opportunities, more access today, why are we still behind? Why are we still struggling? So please put in the comment section what you believe, what you think, because we do have more opportunities today. We do have more access to wealth building. We do have more opportunities. So
it's a mindset thing for me. What is it for you guys? It's a mindset thing for me. And I get my shirt, it says cancel disrespect. What else, honey?
Cancel inequality, cancel harmful policies, and ineffective leadership.
Yes, we're not voting for that on Tuesday. We're voting for Isaiah Hughley for mayor. We're voting for District 7, Becca Zajac. We're voting for District 9, Dr. Kathy Cook. We're voting for Miss Penny for Secretary of State, and Josh for, which one is Secretary of State? He's for Lieutenant Governor.
It's
Josh
Penny for Secretary.
Yes, Josh for Governor, and then I don't know who y'all voting for the labor. Is it labor?
Union or labor? I can't remember the name of it.
For commission, yes, for labor.
Okay.
Either choice, in my opinion, would be great. But of course, we're going with Portia. She's a veteran, and she seems like the stronger candidate. So please make sure you vote informed. Yes.
Yeah, and real quick, I just want to read this out. Please spread the word. Convicted felons can vote. They can vote. If they have a felony on their record, they can absolutely vote. If they're not currently serving a sentence for a felony conviction, if you are serving a felony first offender or conditional discharge sentence and the status has not been revoked, you can vote. Your sentence, incarceration, parole, and probation is complete. You just have to re-register, you can vote. So please spread the word. If you can scan this QR code. But listen, voting, it's a scary thing to think about moving forward. If we don't get out and vote, what's going to happen to the city of Columbus and politics? Yeah. And our power in politics. It's going to, you know what I mean? We got to make sure we're spreading the word. And we're trying to revolutionize the minivan app in Columbus so that we can, make it more efficient some kind of way. So when we go out here and, door knock, and go on this tour, information tour, of trying to figure out, okay, are you registered to vote? If you're not registered, why? What can we do to help? Right. But we need more people involved. Right. Because we have to keep our foot on the gas about voting and voter empowerment. Right. And so, it's very important. Sometimes people, I would just say this, for facts and facts only, just straight up facts, 706 Citizens page. That's where you go. You're going to get the facts. Just dry to the point facts. However, when you come to this page, you're going to get facts plus opinion plus research plus insight. Plus uncomfortable truth. Yes, that's what you're going to get, right? You're going to get the things that people don't want to say out loud. You're going to get the things that people need to know and be able to make decisions on, because they have the information to consider. A lot of people don't want to give you the information that you need to consider when making decisions. I want you to have as much as possible so that you can make the best informed decision. In the data center page, they shared something about voting for Kogel. These are people who their experience may be different. But guess what? I'm going to share some experience for you to see from a small business owner's side,
from a person who lives in District 7 with family and friends or what have you, so you can make a full understanding, full, informed decision.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no agenda. There's no hidden motives. She's not, I don't know her enough to like her or not like her.
Mm-hmm.
It's just based on the facts, based on the leadership that she has demonstrated.
Yeah, and based on having a face-to-face conversation with some of these candidates, one-on-one, sometimes in a group setting, but we're doing our best to properly vet these candidates to tell y'all who we believe is the best qualified person for the job.
Right, and look at how they respond. Look at how some of these people have responded to things that have taken them out of their comfort zone. That's part of leadership too. We need to see all of that, because what we don't want to do is be embarrassed by people who don't know how to respond, properly as a leader. Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right, folks.
Yeah, I'll let you land your plane.
It's landed, honey.
Sure?
It's landed. Yes.
Okay.
I love y'all.
Listen, it was a great show. We always appreciate everybody who tunes in. Listen, time is a currency that you can't get back. You know what I mean? So we do understand that.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Isaiah,
I am King George.
Hughley,
This is my
Mayor,
beautiful co-host.
the angry citizen.
Yeah. But yeah.
Isaiah Hughley for mayor. Come on, y'all.
Yeah,
come
we gotta get
through.
this done.
Come through.
The movement is real. It's a movement. It's a lifestyle. This is not just something that we do casually. It's a lifestyle. So yeah, we ask that y'all join us in the movement. But yeah, we'll be back next week, same place, same time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here, Candid Conversation, where we discuss topics that are not always popular,
but important.
So yeah, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next weekend.
Ooh, Frankie says we need merch, honey.
Yeah.
Oh, for the
We're gonna
angry
get some.
citizen.
Exactly. We appreciate you, Frankie. We appreciate y'all. Salute. And real quick, shout out to everybody who showed up to Men with Mr. Hughley yesterday at Friends Cigar Bar and Lounge. We appreciate y'all. Peace and love.